Hello students, we are going to continue our discussion on the plane mirror. In plane mirror we have met the discussion of deviation. Now let us try to understand the continued discussion of plane mirror. So in plane mirror we will try to understand few questions. Let us consider there is a wall. This is a wall. And this wall has the height h, and here is the plane mirror m1 m2, and in between one man is there. This man is at a distance x from the plane mirror and y from the wall. You will have to tell the minimum size of this mirror. You have to find minimum size of mirror m1 m2 so that complete wall is visible to man. You have to find the minimum size of the plane mirror so that the complete wall is visible to the man. Now in this question, if we talk this as the top and this as the bottom, this top is visible to the man if the rays of light goes here and then falls on the eyes of man. Similarly, bottom is visible to the man if the rays of light from bottom goes and after reflection reach to the eye of man. So if the man is here at an equal distance, here the image is being formed, and if this distance is x, this distance is also x. Now try to understand this triangle TM'(B) and M1 M'(M2) are similar. When these two triangles are similar, then we can observe that the sides must be proportional. So bigger side of the bigger triangle by a smaller side of the smaller triangle, that means h by m1 m2 must be equals to this perpendicular bisector y plus 2x by this perpendicular bisector x. So m1 m2 we are getting hx by y plus 2x. This gives you the answer of the size of mirror. That means this is the minimum size of mirror which will show the man the complete image of wall which is behind the man, and the mirror is in front of man. Here one more question. Now different questions can be framed on this concept. Give the different value of h, different value of x and different value of y, and you will be getting different value of different size of mirror. Also you can understand in a very comfortable way. Here is one more thing that you should understand, that if the man is in the middle, what does it mean? The man is in the middle means x is equals to y, then the minimum size of mirror m1 m2 is equals to hx by 3x. Either you make x is equals to y or y is equals to x, that is h by 3. So if the man is in the middle, then the height of mirror will be h by 3, that is 1/3 of the wall. So this is also the question based on geometry, basically the similarity of the triangles. So you should understand it properly for better understanding of the plane mirror concept. Now we will try to understand the image formed by plane mirror. Here is the plane mirror, and if we keep an object here, then this point will have image here at equal distance, and this point will have image here And in this way, if AB is the object, A dash, B dash is the image formed. And you should understand that object distance is equals to image distance in case of plane mirror. There is a concept of lateral, this image is virtual. So plane mirror forms virtual image. Also you should understand that the concept of lateral inversion. Lateral inversion. What is lateral inversion? Lateral inversion is that here if the mirror is there and if we keep a letter P here in this way, then this straight line will have the image here, this nearer point will have the image here, and so we will be getting the image in this way. So this is called lateral inversion. There are certain symmetrical letters like A, like I, like O, like U, like X, etc. T is also there, in which no lateral inversion is observed because these are symmetrical. So this also you should understand. Now the question arises that here we have seen that the plane mirror forms the virtual image. Can we expect the real image from the plane mirror? The answer is yes. This you can understand in this way, that if the plane mirror is in this way and the rays falling are converging, here you see, if the rays falling are converging, then you will observe that the incident ray meet at this particular point. So this will behave as an object, but this will behave as an object, but this object is virtual. In this case, following the law of reflection valid, we will see that image is formed at equal distance, and you will get that this image is real. This image is real. So what we can observe? We can observe that the plane mirror forms the real image if the object is virtual or the rays falling on it are of converging nature. So if the rays are converging, this plane mirror forms real image. And if the object is real, then plane mirror forms virtual image, and object distance must be equals to image distance. Here you should understand one thing very carefully, that you should remember it because this is not known to many students, that in case of thick plane mirror, second image is brightest. In case of thick plane mirror, second image is brightest and third image is visible to the observer. Third image is visible to the observer. This matter you should remember very carefully, and the cause is simple, because at the first transparent surface very less amount of reflection takes place, then the first image is faint and more light reaches from the second image, where the maximum intensity of light reaches from the object. And after the third portion, what happens in third image, that third image is visible, second image is brightest, but the visible image is third image to the observer. This thing also you should remember very carefully. Now next thing is there, that a very popular question based on geometry itself is being asked, that is that, so next example you should understand very carefully. Retrace its path. Retrace, the light ray retrace its path. What does it mean? It means that here, if the incident ray is in this way, this will be the reflected ray, this is falling on other mirror, and you will observe it is going in this way, this is reflected. Here if I keep a plane mirror in such a way that there is a case of normal incidence, this glancing angle is 90 degree, then the light will come back on its same path, and this thing we call as incident ray has retraces its path. So you should understand that at the third reflection the light ray has retraced its path. So for this, what is required? On the third mirror the ray of light should fall normally. This is the meaning of retrace its path, and very good questions are formed by this also. So what I would like to tell you, that this is happening in case of two mirrors also. If there are two mirrors in this way, here you see this is the incident ray and this is the reflected ray. Here if we keep a mirror in this way so that the ray of light falls normally, then again it will retrace its path. So this is the meaning of retrace. Now the questions can be framed on this concept also. Let us try to understand the questions framed on this concept. Here you should understand very carefully that I am giving the arrangement of two mirrors. Two mirrors are, plane mirrors are inclined at certain angle. Two plane mirrors are inclined at certain angle. And this ray is parallel to M1. Suppose this mirror is M1. Then you have to find theta so that light ray retraces its path after. First is one reflection, second is two reflection, and third is three reflection, and so many things, 4, 5, 6, whatever is the case that may be given. Now angle theta you have to find. So first case you can understand that there is a ready-made formula for finding the value of theta, and that formula is theta is equals to pi by 2n. So n tells number of reflections. N tells number of reflections. So if we take the one reflection case, then the value will be this by 2. So it will be 180 by 2, that is your 90 degree. So in first case the situation is there in this way, that the mirrors are arranged in this way, ray is incident in this way, and then ultimately it retraces its path. So first reflection. For two reflections, theta should be 180 by 4, that means it is 45 degree. So for two reflections you can consider the rays are in this way. Geometrically we can see the rays are in this way. It is falling normally and then it is, so here is the theta, here you observe, and here what you will observe, this is theta, so this is also theta, this is also theta, and this one is 90, so 2 theta is equals to 90, so theta is equals to 45 degree. Similarly you can attempt for 3 reflections also, and for n number of reflections, for 3 reflections what you will get, 180 by 6, that is 30 degree. So for any number of reflections you can understand. Here you should not get confused by this concept that 2 mirrors are there, then how 3 reflection will take place. Any number of reflection can take place, and by this formula you can solve this as very easily. So third case I am leaving you as the homework, that if you are not able, geometrically try to prove it. Geometrically in the same way you make the diagram and try to prove it. If you are unable to prove it, then just tell me in the comment section and I will try to give you the solution of this also. I will try to give you that geometrically also. Answer is very clear, you can understand, but to feel the matter, you have to try to draw it, try to solve it geometrically also. So this is the one type of problem that is frequently asked, and it will help you in building a better concept and understanding of the plane mirror and the reflection. Next, I would like to discuss with you the velocity problem. Here the concept of relative velocity should be known to you. Velocity problem in case of plane mirror, concept of relative velocity should be known to you, that relative velocity of A with respect to B is equals to VA minus VB. This concept in detail it will be taught to you in mechanics section, but right now here what I am telling, I am trying to give you the use of this formula in the case of plane mirror. So if we take the case of plane mirror, here you see what you are observing. Suppose if the object is there, if the velocity is in this way, the object velocity will be in this way. This is V parallel. So V parallel of object is equal to V parallel of image. That you should understand. If we take the parallel component, if we take the perpendicular component in this situation, V perpendicular of object, here you will observe that the image will be moving in this direction. So it will be V object, and it should be magnitude will remain same. Only thing is that the direction is opposite, that is this is in this direction, so this is V perpendicular object, but it will be negative. Whenever we have to find the velocity, what we will do, parallel component will be left as it is and this perpendicular component is reversed, provided the mirror is at rest. But if the mirror is in motion, first of all we have to make it at rest. So let us try to understand this thing by a question. Suppose that here is a plane mirror and this plane mirror is moving in this direction with 2 centimeter per second, and on this axis there is a object moving 45 degree 8 root 2 centimeter per second, and you have to find the questions generally being asked. You have to find first you have to find, here I am writing, first you have to find velocity of object with respect to mirror, how much. Second, velocity of image with respect to mirror. Third, velocity of image with respect to ground. And fourth, velocity of image with respect to object. Relative velocity concept and the concept that I have told you, that perpendicular velocity needs to be reversed, that we have to understand. So in order to understand this question, what I would like to tell you, in this direction the velocity will be, this component will be your 8 centimeter per second, and this is also your 8 centimeter per second. Now try to understand. First question is, if I am writing it in terms of velocity of object in terms of ijk, that this axis is x-axis, so it is your I direction, this axis is your y-axis, so this is your j direction. So velocity of object we can write in this way, 8 I cap plus 8 j cap. This is the way we can write the velocity of object in vector form. If you want to write the velocity of mirror, then it is your 2 I cap in this way. Now we will go to our question. If we go towards our question, velocity of object with respect to mirror is equals to velocity of object minus velocity of mirror. So if you will properly subtract, you will get it as 8i plus 8j minus 2i, and this is giving you 6i minus 8j centimeter per second. That means in I direction, that is along this direction, it is 6, and in this direction it is 8. Along y-axis it is 8, and along x-axis with respect to mirror it is 6. Now this is the first. If we talk about the second, you should understand velocity of image with respect to mirror. As I told you that the parallel component should remain same, that means there is no change in this component, but this perpendicular components needs to be changed. So if it needs to be changed, here it should be plus 8j. So if it needs to be changed, then we will write it directly as this one, this component, perpendicular to the plane of mirror. So this component will become minus 6i plus 8j. This is why I have just reversed the sign of x component, which is perpendicular to the plane of mirror. So as I told you in the discussion of theory, that perpendicular component needs to be reversed. So velocity of image with respect to mirror, perpendicular component has been reversed. Now if I want to find velocity of image with respect to ground, then VIM must be equals to VI minus VM. So VI must be equals to VIM plus VM, and this will give you the solution in this way, that VIM is how much? Minus 6i plus 8j, and VM is how much? VM is your 2i minus 2i. VM is your 2i, so minus 2i. That means it is giving you minus 8i plus 8j. How will you find the magnitude? This is your vector form. So magnitude you will get a square of this component, a square of this component, 8 square plus 8 square under root. That will give you the magnitude. This much centimeter per second. If I want to ask VIO, then this value is VI minus VO, and this is giving you VI is how much? VI you have calculated minus 8i plus 8j minus VO. Here it should be plus. VM is how much? VM is 2, so here it should be plus. So when it is plus, it is giving you minus 4i plus 8j. Here it should be plus. Calculation you will have to check very carefully. Now here VI minus VO should be equals to 8 not minus 4i, and minus VO is your minus 8i minus 8j. So j will cancel and you are getting minus 12i. So velocity of image with respect to object is in 12 units per second, centimeter per second, but in which direction? But in this direction, because it is negative I. So this way generally these 4 questions are asked, but out of these 4 questions, this question is very important, because in order to find this, all the 3 you will have to find, and while finding all the 3, this part is more important, because here you will have to reverse the sign, as I have reversed the sign here. You see here sign. So these 2 needs to be given extra attention. Here you have to give the extra attention, and here you have to find By asking this question, every part you have to automatically needs to be clarified. So this is very important, because by this asking this, all the three you will have to find. So this is the way we are doing the relative velocity concept question in case of your plane mirror. Now the next part that I would like to discuss is the plane mirror. Number of images formed in case of plane mirror. If two plane mirrors are kept parallel, then the number of images formed, and object is kept here, number of images formed is infinite. How? Because multiple reflection will take place. And you will be getting the different images. So you will be getting the, here I1 is there, I2 is there, I3 is there, and so on. You will be getting the different images. Similarly here you will be getting the images up to infinity. So if two plane mirrors are kept parallel to each other and an object is placed between them, then the number of image formed is infinity. This matter you are supposed to remember all the time. Now here one more thing you should understand very carefully, that if the arrangement of mirror is in this way, two plane mirrors are arranged in this way, and an object is placed, then in this case number of image formed will be your 2. Why 2? One ray will go here, it will form the image somewhere here, and one ray will go here and it will form the image somewhere here. So number of images is formed 2. But one thing also you should understand, if an observer is moving in this way, then number of images seen by the observer will be 1 only, because either he will see this image or he will see this image. So at a time the observer will see only one image. So this also concept should be known to you, and it will help you in clarifying the matter in a better way, in understanding the concept in a better way. So this thing also you should know. Now in the last portion of plane mirror, that we have to find the number of image when two plane mirrors are inclined at certain angle. Here the two plane mirrors are inclined at certain angle, then mirror M1 is there and mirror M2 is there, and if an object is kept here, then how we can find the number of images? So this will be the object. In this case you have to remember a ready-made formula, that you have to divide 360 by theta. If you will divide 360 by theta, there are two possibilities. Either you will get a fraction, and if you are getting a fraction, for example 3.99 or 4.23, any fraction you will be getting by 360 by theta, then this integral portion will represent the number of images. Integral portion will represent the number of images. But if you are not getting a fraction, and if you are getting a positive number, then again two possibilities are there. You are getting even, or you are getting odd. So if you are getting the even number, then 360 by theta minus 1, this will give you the number of images. And if you are getting the odd number, then there are two situations. One is symmetrical position and one is asymmetrical position. One is symmetrical position and one is asymmetrical position. What is symmetrical position? Symmetrical position, if the object lies on the perpendicular bisector line. If the object is anywhere on the perpendicular bisector line, then this is called symmetrical position. And if the object is not on the perpendicular bisector line, somewhere other, then it is called asymmetrical position. So for odd you will be getting symmetrical position, you will be getting 360 by theta minus 1. And for asymmetrical position you will be getting simply 360 by theta. Now let us try to understand it by example. If theta is equals to 60 degree, then 360 by theta, this is your 6 and this is your even. So when this is your even, then you should understand it very carefully that number of image formed will be 6 minus 1, that is 5. This should be your answer. And in case of odd number, I can take an example. Suppose theta is equals to 72 degree. Then 360 by theta, this must be equals to 5, and this is your odd. So there are two answers. Two possibilities are there. For symmetrical position, you will be getting the answer 5 minus 1, that is 4. And for asymmetrical position, you will be getting the answer 5. So what I mean to say, this is for asymmetrical position. What I mean to say, symmetrical position and asymmetrical position you will have to consider only if you are getting 360 by theta as an odd. Otherwise, in case of fraction, answer will remain same for symmetrical and asymmetrical. In case of even, the answer will remain same for symmetrical and asymmetrical. Only in case of odd, you will be getting that for symmetrical position the answer is different and for asymmetrical position the answer is different. If nothing is given in the question, then this asymmetrical position you will keep as the answer, as the right choice. So if nothing is given in the question and you are getting 360 by theta as the odd number, then you will have to understand that this 5 should be your answer. Now one small portion is left that should also we should consider in this discussion, that rotation of plane mirror. If the plane mirror, see carefully, if the plane mirror is there, is kept here, and this is the incident ray and this is the reflected ray. If the plane mirror, if the incident ray is kept constant and if the plane mirror is rotated by an angle theta, suppose in this way, then this reflected ray will rotate by an angle 2 theta. So what is the main thing you should understand? If the incident ray is kept constant and plane mirror is rotated by an angle theta, then reflected ray rotates by an angle 2 theta in the same sense. Here you see, mirror is rotated in clockwise direction, then this is also rotates in clockwise direction by the angle 2 theta. So if this is 10 degree, this will be reflected ray rotate by 20 degree. And the second situation is there that you should understand, that if the plane mirror is rotated, if the plane mirror is kept constant and if the incident ray is rotated in this way, then reflected ray rotates in this way. Here you see, here it is theta, here also theta. What you have to understand? You have to understand in a better way that if it is anti-clockwise, it is clockwise. If it is anti-clockwise, it is clockwise. That means rotation value remains the same, but only thing is that the sense of rotation is opposite. Here the sense of rotation is same, but here the sense of rotation is opposite. Here many questions can be framed. Sometime the mirror is rotated, sometime the incident ray is rotated, keeping the mirror fixed, sometime both are rotated. Then you have to consider the clockwise and anti-clockwise rotation, and then you can get the final answer. Hope with this much amount of discussion of plane mirror, the concept related with plane mirror might be clear to you, and I have tried to include all the discussions, all the related problems, whether it is the board examination or whether it is the entrance examination. For both type of examination you should face comfortably. For that I have given you enough matter, and hope after understanding these two lectures on the plane mirror you will be capable in solving any problem with confidence in your examination. Thank you. Have a nice day.